Greetings, this is the Timeshare Traveler. Today is episode 201. 201, my advice to Marriott Vacations Club. Well, I have really just 4 items. Focus less on Wall Street. Number 2, focus more on the customer and new features I'd like to see. And then lastly, competing with Airbnb. I think that's an issue for all the timeshare companies, and Marriott Vacation Club is not excluded from that. But before I get into the details, I'm going to tell you a little bit about my channels, and I'll be back in about 28 seconds or so. Hi, this is Cliff, and I'm the Timeshare Traveler. Welcome to my channel. The purpose of my channel is to educate those who love traveling in timeshares. I've been an owner for 15 plus years at timeshare ownership. I have elite ownership with Marriott, Hilton, and Worldmark. I have published over 100 timeshare video reviews, and I've published over 95 timeshare tips. I can be found on Facebook at Timeshare Trav, at Twitter, Timeshare Trav, and on the web at www.timesharetraveler.com. Okay, well, I'm back. And my first topic was focus less on Wall Street. So periodically I do owner updates, and often they talk about price increases, and they're saying every quarter they're increasing prices, and the reason they tell me that is Wall Street has numbers they expect, and so the way they get them is they're going to increase prices. The other thing is the maintenance in 2024 over 2023. My maintenance increased by 15%, and that is the highest in the industry. Almost double the next closest one. I am Hilton, Worldmark, and Marriott, and it's almost double what the next closest one was. And my question really is how long can cost increases be sustained for that? And sort of my little bit of evidence that I don't think it's actually helpful to focus on Wall Street necessarily, as not to say you shouldn't focus on it, but make that the focus, is that the 10K filing for 2023, which came out in 2024, showed that there were 700,000 families, and the 10K filing in 2022 showed that there were the same 700,000 families. So if they're increasing prices is the only way they can make their numbers, I think that's not a sustainable model, because I don't think you can keep doing that. And I know personally, I haven't upgraded with Marriott because I don't want to have a 15% increase in my maintenance fees on a regular basis. I don't want to, I don't see the additional value coming from it. I just see the additional cost. So that's kind of why I say my first piece of advice to Marriott Vacation Club is don't focus less on Wall Street. Now let me get to the next one. Okay, my next one really is kind of leads off the first one about Wall Street, is focus more on customers. See, my view is if you focus on the customer, the Wall Street part will take care of itself, not the other way around. Focusing on Wall Street will not help the customers. So I'd love to see more locations or more upgrades. What actually do we see with our increase in maintenance costs? We should see something visible that shows that with the maintenance increase. Now, I understand a certain amount of that is just general cost increases, so I get that part. But 15%? No, I don't think so. Add more features for members. The merger with Vistana was nice, but really that was just 2 companies, and we have, just added those 2 groups together. They didn't really add any new locations, and there really wasn't much change to the locations. They were just merged together in a new one system. And again, Vistana owners or users are competing for Marriott locations now, and vice versa. So it wasn't really much. You just put them in the same pot, and nothing really much changed. What are your, my question to Marriott is, what are your growth plans for new customers? There's a new location in Waikiki in late 2024. And market message for 2023, 2024, and actually most of 2022 is the same. More. And that just meant there were more locations, but not really more locations. If you're a Vistana owner and a Marriott owner like I was, there was nothing really much change. In fact, maybe I had a benefit if I could pool my points and do a little bit more, but there wasn't that much change. And again, I think the focus on the customer, and I'll go into that a little bit more on the next slide, talking about changes I'd like to see. And here we go. Here's some new features I'd like to see, and I'm just picking a few examples. Um, so a lot of, I mean, particularly in Hawaii, I shouldn't say particularly in Hawaii, in some of the locations in Maui and the Big Island, they did hotel conversions to timeshares, but they didn't put full kitchens in. So to me, it wasn't really a timeshare. The Big Island one, even the one bedrooms don't have full kitchens. And it's really not a timeshare without a kitchen in my mind. It's like maybe a slightly better hotel with grills, I guess. Um, Again, maybe less of an issue with studios if you have some studio rooms, although, again, my favorite studios are the ones that have full kitchens. The other thing I'd like to see is the integration with Hyatt timeshares into the program. They did buy the Hyatt brand timeshares when they bought Visona because Hyatt was part of that. Um, and here's the one I'd like to see that I haven't seen is I'd like to see a trial program beyond just one. Their current program, the Encore program, is really just a one visit. And other timeshare companies have trials that are like a bucket of points. So you can actually experience what being a Marriott Vacation Club owner would be like. So you have more than just a visit back. It seems more like the marketing program as opposed to a trial program. And I'd like to see that added. So I think those are I guess the biggest ones I'd like to see for Marriott to make improvements in their program. And my last item for Marriott is similar to, I did a similar one for another program, and is really to compete with Airbnb. And it's only just because it's a new style and Airbnbs have our full homes or with kitchens and stuff. And I think Marriott Homes platform is one method that they can compete with Airbnb. The second one, I think Marriott's got some potential here. They own Interval International, and they got that via the Vistana merger, which brought Westin and Sheraton into the fold. But can you morph that, something more like Vacasa, and have Interval International actually have homes in there? So I thought that might be an interesting, or potentially, again, Marriott is a big enough company, they could buy Airbnb or VRBO, but I think there's a whole issue there with how you would vet or how you would segment Airbnb to those that are part of the Marriott brand, and those that are part of sort of we'll call it the public brand, or some because they would want to maintain their quality, and I do appreciate that part about Marriott. Again, the next generation is looking for boutique experiences, and Marriott, I think, because of their luxury brand, I think has an opportunity with that. The next generation is independent-minded, more internet savvy, so they're used to looking for deals. The challenge when I get in all of this, and I don't have much of an answer here, is how do you implement standards similar to hotel standards, which is what you'd have to do with something to compete with Airbnb. You just have to have a set of standards. I don't know if you're aware, but the actual hotels often are not owned by Marriott or Hilton or whatever. They're actually owned by an owner, but they follow the standards and the branding and so forth, because sometimes hotels will shift who they're affiliated with. They'll switch their brand. Anyway, hope you like this video. If you do, don't forget to give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe.